Oh shit!
Hey, what's up guys, it's Gage, and we just got the TCG Forbidden and Limited list after what seems like a century. So what I'm going to do is I'm essentially just go over it and talk to you guys about the changes and what I really see for the future of the list. I guess it's kind of a ban list reaction video, if you will. Somewhat. I'm more just going to go in depth about what I think about the future of the game more than what I think of each individual card. Dino Knight Fighter, the true, what is it, the true Draco Fighter. That's Dino Knuckle. I always call it Dino Knuckle. I don't know why this one was forbidden out of all the choices. It is one of the best ones, I think, but I think it was a little bit strange. Ignis is also at one, which I have no idea where Ignis came out of. That was like left field. I don't think that card ever really saw too much play. Also pretty good card, but I don't know why these ones as Masterpiece wasn't actually hit on the list, which makes absolutely no sense to me, as I believe that was the problem more than anything. Also, looking at the list, Diagram was not hit as well. That blows my mind. I don't understand why two of the big problem cards didn't get hit, but we're going to hit the support for it. I mean, Dynamite Knuckle, Dino Knuckle, it's good to see that forbidden. Ignis, I guess that's okay, limited, it's fine. But I think this deck is still going to be very real. Maybe not the Demise version, but being as a splashable engine, we're still going to be dealing with Masterpiece a lot this format. Absolutely, without question. Grand Sword is forbidden. Stupid loop shit. That's why it got forbidden. And then True King Lithosogem is forbidden. Again, this was left field here. I don't know why this was forbidden out of all the cards. It's a good card nonetheless, but definitely very weird. I think actually maybe because dinosaurs, they hit a lot of stuff with dinosaur-related things. As you can see, Denglong was also hit because it's a dinosaur card, and I guess the dinosaur deck's really good. So Denglong and Lithosogem are gone. Bye-bye to those. I think dinosaurs are going to take on a new form, though, with the Rescue Rabbit at 3 now. Spoiler alert, it's actually at 3. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of wiggle room for dinosaurs there. I think they're going to go on as one of the better decks this format. Quite excited to play Rescue Rabbit at 3. Very excited, actually. Daigusto Emerald's forbidden now. Now Shine Ball Loop, the thing that I was going to be working with, is no longer capable. I'm kind of happy this card was forbidden, as it did enable a lot of stupid loops. Since like the beginning of time, back when Blue Blooded Oni OTK, this was when this card was like first released. People just realized the stupid potential with this card. It's finally gone now. We don't have to worry about a lot of loops. And then Broad Bull and Dryden are now forbidden. I originally thought when I was talking to a friend, I was like, Barrage is still at 3. This deck is not going to like live on, but it's going to be a pretty viable engine to just make Mrs. Radiant with Barrage. And then he reminded me that you really have nothing to detach to get into the graveyard with Shockanine, and because you would normally use Broad Bull Search for that. And now I think the Zodiac deck, even as an engine, nonetheless, is gone. I believe Dryden was even at 1 in the OCG. I don't think it was ever forbidden. I think it just, I think Broad Bull was forbidden, but Dryden was at 1. So I do think this is like the end of Zodiac. I believe there's really no reason to play it. Even like I thought like, oh shit, you can do like Shockanine and then make like a free Mrs. Radiant, open up your zones with 1 card. That's fucking cool. But now I don't think that's the case at all. Rapier is also at 1, so the deck is just kind of like dead. It's like not OCG, like it can live a little bit. It's like straight up dead, I think. People might still try to make it work, but I don't believe there's really a reason to. It really can't do anything now. I believe that's it for the Forbidden. Yeah, that is. Lots of cards forbidden. I think a lot of them were extreme. Like Denglong and Emerald, like I think that was pretty extreme to just straight up forbidden them, but hey, who am I? And then like True King and Dino Knuckle, those were things like out of left field. I don't know. I guess, hey, I'm not the one making the list, but it is drastic changes, and I do like to see drastic changes rather than just little changes, and hope it does something. Ignis Heat's limited, like I said, left field. It's okay. Miscellaneousaurus is another thing that was limited, and I believe this was a good idea because they're hitting all the dinosaur stuff and everything. Dinosaurs really weren't a problem, but now with Zodiac like gone and then like True Draco hit down a little bit, they're going to be a pretty good deck. Having Miscellaneousaurus at 1, definitely really helpful because I do think this card is really good. And testing it in even the deck that I'm trying out with like Rescue Rabbit and stuff, it's still a really good card. Having it at 1 is great because you still have access to it with cards like Lost World or something like that. It's pretty easy to get to. Overraptor is still a really good card in tandem with Miscellaneousaurus, and having Overraptor at 3 and Miscellaneousaurus at 1 I believe is a pretty good balancing factor. Rapier's limited, was semi-limited, I already talked about that. Kind of cool to see it like that. Zodiac's finally gone, and that's something really happy. Dark Hole is now limited. Sure, I mean, having the board wipes we had Kaiju Slumber at 2, Dark Hole at 2, and Raigeki at 1. I believe because Zodiac Remote was a thing, it was necessary to have that many board wipes because there was really no way to get yourself back on the board afterwards. But now having them at 1, I believe we can have a little bit more room to establish boards and not be afraid of the wipe all the time. Same goes with Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, which is now limited as well. So now we can easily and more reliably put a field on the board and not have it just dashed away by a Slumber. That was a problem with Link format moving forward, as you could invest all these resources in a board and have it wiped away with one card. Now that won't happen as much. Now we have a 1-1-1 ratio with board wipes if you play all 3. So I believe that's really key. That's really helpful. I believe people are going to resort to different ways to working around boards now rather than just the easy cop-out of a Raigeki or a Dark Hole. If you get it, it's nutty. I get it, but it's not going to always happen, which is nice. Gateway of the 6 is now limited. I'm sure John Moore's like jumping for joy right now. This card, I think it might change a little bit with the new the new 6 Sam support we're getting. I see potential. I'm not exactly sure how much it's going to be since it is at 1. You're not always going to have it. I believe it's going to be back in the day like it was, like if you open up Gateway, you win. That's pretty much like the consensus with people, and I believe that's how it's going to stick now. If you open up Gateway, you might just win. Depends on really how good 6 Sams are as an archetype without Gateway. But I believe that's still kind of the contingency people are going to work with. Open Gateway, win. Because the card's just literally insane. I already talked about Slumber at 1. And True King's Return is limited. That's a great hit, honestly. Dino Knuckles forbidden anyways, though, so like you're not really getting anything except Apocalypse at this point. Sure. Yeah, having True King's Return limited is great. Really helpful. Moving on to the semi-limits. BLS is now semi-limited. Spoiler alert, also, what is the card? Charge of Light Brigade is at 3. I think that's huge for Lightsworn. I don't know how good the deck is going to be. With BLS now limited, semi-limited, and that at 3, and the Twilight Sworns released, I think there's a lot of potential there. Play Eclipse Wyvern to get yourself to Dad if you want to play Dad in that deck. There's a lot of way to be creative in that deck. So I think that deck's going to be pretty scary moving forward. Luster Pendulum is now semi-limited. Mathematician is now semi-limited. I was talking to Alex about Mathematician being semi-limited. I was like, sure, why not? The card actually deserves to be off the list, if anything. I don't think these affect really too much. Possibly maybe Metal Foe might be a deck still with Luster Pendulum going to 2. Wasn't really a deck, though. I believe Pendulums in general are just kind of in a bad spot right now. Maybe we'll see something with Luster Pendulum at 2, but I highly think it's doubtful as long as Draco Face-Off is a card that's, I think, forbidden now. I actually can't remember that. I haven't seen the last time that card actually saw play. And then we have, what else here? Brionic is now semi-limited with its nerf, sure. TG Hyper Librarian, you're not going to see Synchro Climbing anymore, sure. Brain Control semi-limited, sure. Again, with the errata, a lot of these things are just kind of like givens. Like, Brain Control is an awful card with its errata. It's straight up terrible. Like, it has to be a normal summoned monster. Literally the only thing I see is if your opponent somehow leaves an Overraptor open moving forward, and we're seeing more of the Dino Rabbit deck, you can steal it. But outside of that, it's like Brain Control's a straight up shitty card. And then Burial is also one of those gimmies. I don't think we've had it really matter that you can return things from your banished to your graveyard. We don't even see things get banished that much face up since we've had Pot of Desires, and Burial cannot take things from your banished zone with Pot of Desires and put them back. So Burial's another short. And then El Shaddai Fusion, I was just talking about this with a friend. As long as Construct's not back, literally you can do whatever you want with that card. It's not going to change anything. If Construct came back to 1, I think it would be huge to have El Shaddai Fusion back at what it is now, semi-limited. But it straight up doesn't matter. Construct at 1, I think, would literally shake up the game just because of the fact that you can dump a light with Shaddai Fusion. I think that's really the big reason it's forbidden still, is because you can do that. And there's just so many really powerful light targets with good graveyard effects. But with El Shaddai Fusion, there's so much leeway with it. Just put it back at 3, honestly. And then pre-prep, not pre-prep, excuse me, regular prep is also semi-limited. This kind of goes with Necroz even. Maybe I'm just pigeonholing myself into that thought that Necroz is the reason this card was limited, and it was. But literally, if Shirt doesn't come off the list, I don't really see prep going. Prep can go back to 3, and Shirt can be banned, and Necroz will still do nothing. That's honestly the way I see it. Good to see the card back, though. I guess it's a step in the right direction, but I really don't believe it shakes up much. And now for the big stuff that comes off the list. There's a lot of huge stuff in here. Debris Dragon's no longer on the list. That's fine. Debris Dragon really isn't a card that's seen play since plant format or Dragon Ruler plants. Really hasn't seen too much play then. Honest is off the list now. Again, that's another support card for the Lightsworn. Still a really powerful card in general to deal with battle. There's going to be a lot more battle, I believe, going on. Actual battle phase interactions, where most of the time it would just be you could pop things before the battle phase to ensure a clear board and just go for game. I believe there's going to be a lot more battle interactions. A lot more different things to happen with struggling battle coming out. I believe the game's going to really change, and I'm really excited for it. Cat is at 3 now. Was limited. Cat didn't see play with its errata. I still don't think it's good with its errata. But Rabbit, Rescue Rabbit is at 3, and I'm so excited for this. I fucking love Rescue Rabbit, and I'm happy this card's back at 3, because it's literally a game changer. Just because the game has slowed down, and there's so many ways to get this. You can search this card, guaranteed. It's like a Rhoda now with Emergency Emerging Rescue, because you can just reveal 3 copies of Rabbit. That's insane. I think this card has a lot of potential moving forward. I definitely think Dino decks will be pulling it in to see if they can make it something good. I've been trying it out with Megalosaurus and shit, and I'm super excited to try out 3 Rabbit, especially since I have foreign copies. Summoner Monk is also at 3. I think Infernities actually have a chance with this card going to 3. Infernity FDK, oh god, is it a thing actually, come to think of it? I still think Infernity FDK might still be a thing with this list. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure nothing actually got hit from that loop. And that's a very scary thought to think about. I didn't actually think about that until I started recording this, but that's a spooky thought. But Summoner Monk at 3 actually might help that a lot. And I'm really excited to see this card back at 3. I think it's a long time coming. I think it definitely should have deserved to, which is fine. It's not going to do anything. Charges at 3, that's huge. Charge of Light Brigade, like I said, with Lightsworn. Lots of changes with BLS. I have 2 now, excuse me. And like a lot of different things can happen with that deck. There's a lot of room for creativity with it. Dragon Ravines at 3 now. Sure, that's really helpful, but I don't think there's any Dragoonity decks floating around right now, so I'm not particularly too scared. And then Wavering Eyes is back at 3. Sure, pendulums aren't a thing anymore. Hasn't been a thing yet. Maybe it will be, but you know, we'll see. Overall, I'm really excited for this list. A lot of people were talking about, hey, we need a nuke, like a straight up like nuke list, and I was like, hey, that's a little bit much. I want to see like Zodiac gone. I want to see True Draco gone. That's what I want to see. But like other than that, you can leave some other things alone. But they did a really damn good job. They addressed a lot of future problems. They addressed a lot of immediate problems, and I'm really excited to see how the game kind of shapes up from now. So yeah, if you guys liked the video, be sure to like the video, thumbs up the video, especially if you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think about the list down below in the description. Excited to hear what you guys think. I think this is going to be a game changer. I'm really excited to play under this list. I might actually start to pick up cards now. You know, I'm so excited to play this game. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the list, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Nim signing out.